the last video, we exposed the crimes, the cover-up, and the sweetheart deal that let a child predator walk free. But that was just the beginning, because what's hiding in the files after that, that's where the real bombshells are. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Deception Reports. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go watch it first. The link is right up here because today we're picking up exactly where we left off. In the last video, we covered who Jeffrey Epstein really was. We talked about the crimes, the victims, the private island, and the Lolita Express. We talked about how a 60-count federal indictment just disappeared into thin air because of a backroom deal. And we talked about how Epstein ended up dead in a federal jail cell under circumstances that to this day nobody can fully explain. But here's the thing. The deeper you go into these files, the darker it gets. Because in today's video, we're getting into the part that the mainstream media barely covered. We're talking about the 3.5 million pages of documents the DOJ was forced to release. We're talking about the big names, the presidents, the billionaires, and the royals whose connections are now documented in black and white. We're talking about the pages that were deleted from the government website after they went public. And we're talking about the survivors, the women who are still waiting for real justice, while the powerful stay. This is part 2, and trust me, this one hits harder. Let's get into it. The Epstein Files. What's in them? Now, let's get to the main event. The files themselves. After years of pressure, Congress passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act in November 2025. Trump signed it into law. The DOJ was ordered to release everything. The Department of Justice published over 3 million pages of documents, more than 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images, making the total production nearly 3.5 million pages. One document confirmed that the FBI was tipped off about Epstein's crimes nearly a decade before his first arrest. In September 1996, Epstein survivor Maria Farmer complained to the FBI that the late financier was involved in child sex abuse, and officials failed to take steps to investigate, so the government knew since 1996 and did nothing for years. The files also included Epstein's contacts, book and flight logs from his private jets, photographs from inside his Manhattan mansion including a bizarre painting of Bill Clinton in a dress, images showing framed photos of Donald Trump inside the mansion, a fake Austrian passport with Epstein's picture but a different name, with stamps from France, Spain, Saudi Arabia, and the UK, email correspondence with Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, and other powerful figures, documents about his friendship with Prince Andrew. The big names, who's in the files. This is the part everyone wants to know about. Let's go through the major figures mentioned. Bill Clinton. Clinton's connection to Epstein is well done. Flight logs show he flew on Epstein's private jet multiple times. The documents featured a heavy dose of former President Bill Clinton. The Clinton team has consistently denied any wrongdoing, but the Clintons refused to testify in the House Epstein investigation. Donald Trump. Trump was also connected to Epstein socially for years. Investigators found a photo of Trump with Ghislaine Maxwell while examining Steve Bannon's iPhone, and a 2020 heads-up from a federal prosecutor noted that Trump had traveled with Epstein more than was previously known. One file from January 2026 included a list of sexual assault allegations related to Trump that was compiled by the FBI. Prince Andrew. The British royal's name comes up repeatedly. The files include documents involving Epstein's friendship with Britain's Andrew Mountbatten, formerly known as Prince Andrew. Andrew had previously settled a civil lawsuit brought by Virginia Giuffre, who claimed she was trafficked to him by Epstein when she was 17. Bill Gates. Documents released include Epstein's email correspondence with billionaire Bill Gates. Gates has previously admitted to meeting with Epstein multiple times after Epstein's 2008 conviction, which he later called a mistake. Elon Musk. Musk's name also appears in the communications. His team has not publicly commented on the specific files. Jean-Luc Brunel, a French modeling agent who was one of Epstein's key associates. Brunel would be arrested in Paris and charged with rape of minors, but was found dead by suicide in his Paris prison cell in February 2022. Les Wexner, the billionaire founder of L Brands Victoria's Secret. 4 years, Epstein managed Wexner's finances and even lived in his New York mansion. Wexner has previously denied any knowledge of Epstein's behavior and said he had cut ties with him in 2007. The redactions, what are they hiding? Here's the dirty truth. Even with 3.5 million pages released, massive amounts are still blacked out. At least 550 pages were reportedly fully redacted. One 119-page document labeled Grand Jurian Y is completely blacked out, as is a set of 3 consecutive documents totaling 255 pages. Many crucial FBI interviews with Epstein's accusers, internal Justice Department memos on charging decisions, all heavily redacted or missing. And then there's this. At least 16 of the files disclosed late have since disappeared from the website where they were released. The deleted files included a photograph featuring President Trump. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer accused the Trump administration of being hell-bent on hiding the truth. Democrats on the House oversight committees said they're examining all legal options. A January 2026 CNN poll found that 49% of Americans were dissatisfied with how much of the Epstein files the federal government had released, while only 6% were satisfied. And 2/3 said the government was deliberately withholding information. The victims, the real story. Let's not lose sight of what matters most here. The survivors. Dozens of women have come forward over the years. Their stories are devastating young girls from vulnerable backgrounds who were exploited by one of the most powerful men in the world. With the protection of a network that reached into governments, law enforcement, and the highest levels of society. Lisa Phillips, who was in her 20s when she met Epstein, said she endured years of abuse. After the files were released, she told CNN she felt the DOJ was protecting themselves, not the victims. I feel like they have so much information to start connecting the dots, and for survivors to get justice. But as you're seeing, we just keep stalling, she said. The victims deserved justice in 2007. They deserved it in 2019. Many are still waiting today. What ITO means. So what's the bigger picture here? The Jeffrey Epstein scandal isn't just about one sick man. It's about a system, a network of power, money, and silence that allowed these crimes to continue for decades. It's about institutions that chose to protect the powerful instead of the vulnerable. The files show us the FBI knew in 1996. Prosecutors had a 60-count indictment in 2007 and let it disappear. A man died in a federal facility under circumstances that remain deeply suspicious. Millions of pages of documents are still redacted. Powerful people in both political parties are mentioned. And the question remains, who else participated? And why are they still protected? Guys, this story is far from over. The files are still being released. Investigations are still ongoing. Victims are still fighting for justice. If this video opened your eyes or taught something new, please smash that like button. It seriously helps this channel more than you know. And subscribe if you want to stay updated, because I'll be covering every new development as it comes out. Drop a comment below. What do you think? Do you believe the full truth has come out? Or is there more being hidden? I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious. Stay informed. Thanks for watching. See you the next video.